This segment of Dead Downwind's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Dead Downwind, the leader in scent prevention. It's not just luck. And by Martin Archery, making the most accurate bows for over 50 years.
With Dave Nelson at Nelson Outfitters, Sheridan, Wyoming. Dave, you got the only green grass anywhere in the country right now. You guys had any rain this year?
We haven't had any rain since April.
It's prevalent. I mean, the hillsides are brown as brown gets, and every single green field that we passed already had deer, antelope, and I've heard there's elk hitting them, and it's 88 degrees outside.
Yeah.
They're looking for green.
So right now you don't have to worry too much about trying to spot deer. You just find a green spot, look for brown spots in the green.
Yep, looking for the brown in the green. How many acres do you run your outfitting business on?
Oh, total a couple 100,000.
You heard that right, folks, a couple 100,000.
It's all private ground.
How many guys you take here?
Total for bear, mountain lion, elk, mule deer, whitetail, and a few antelope will do 50.
Really? So you keep it pretty limited.
We keep it real limited.
That's good. That's really good. That you keep your trophy class up in that way.
We've been managing a lot of these for, well, like the ranch you're going to hunt on. My dad leased it when I was a kid, and we've had it probably 30 years. Total control over the hunting on it for 30 years. You know, on that particular ranch, there's about 15,000 acres that winters about 1,200 mule deer, about 1,200 whitetail, and we'll take about 10 of each off of the year.
Wow. So you are growing some big deer. We're in the Bighorns out here in Sheridan, Wyoming, and this is some of probably the most beautiful country in the world. And Josh and I are going to go jump in one of the blinds Dave's got set up to try to put me on a big mule deer.
As Keith popped up his double bull, he thought about what could happen in just an hour or less from now in this deer hunter's paradise. Nelson Outfitters has deer numbers that are second to none and tremendous trophy opportunities for the archery hunter. While white-tailed deer are a species that are usually quite suspicious of a new blind setup unless it's brushed in, mule deer are a species that are not readily spooked by a blind, even when it's set right out in the open. Even though plenty of great bucks had been seen from the blind on this day, it would be the very next day before Keith's heart would threaten to jump out of his chest. Without a sound, this beautiful buck walked right past the blind at less than 5 yards and started browsing on brush on his way to the alfalfa. Do not tempt Keith at this distance, or for that matter, at twice this distance when he has a bow in his hand.
Come out 4.5 yards from this blind, and I got vegetation sitting here, and I had to sit there and look for a spot, and the wind's coming out of the west, and I was like, how am I not going to get busted here?
You had that feeling?
I had that feeling this morning.
What you're now looking at is Keith in the end zone. Keith, did you know that a 15-yard penalty can be assessed on the next play for unsportsmanlike conduct? Just a thought.
awesome morning.
Dead Downwind's Wild Extremes will return in a moment.